turned off or rather I've turned down the in-game audio. And this will allow me to turn off all of my pre and post amp boosts a little bit. I noticed that it's just causing a little bit of graininess, so we've turned down the volume of the game, and we have increased um, the volume here on OBS, but we have turned down the pre and post amp. We are currently sitting at 131 hours, 51 minutes, 20 seconds, with wake up happening in 40 seconds. How's it going? How's it going? James, welcome. Hello, Renova. We're here on our final day around the moon. And by final day, I mean final half day because we spent half of day 6 sleeping. We sort of started day 6, and then we had our 10-hour rest period in the middle of day 6, and I will be ending day 6 here, just with a couple of more landmark observations and some photos of opportunity. So that's actually one of the reasons why I've selected this quote from a poem, Coming Home by, what was her name again? I don't even remember her name. Jesus. It was Coming Home by Mary Oliver. Thank you. I don't know why it was Mary something. And that is to say that this quote has nothing to do with the moon, but I thought it was a fantastic choice. Much like how that one poem that has to slip the surly bonds of the earth is about a fighter pilot in World War One. How that really has nothing to do with the moon either, but it's largely attributed to Apollo 10 as well. Um, we do not like Jamie Olive Oil. Jamie Olive Oil sucks. So this quote is basically, um, we're looking at a world that we cherish, the moon, and it cannot cherish us as it does not support life. So, yeah, it's pretty simple, actually. Audio sounds good again. That's fantastic. And I've turned down the spacecraft noises. Let me know if you need me to turn them up, but I might turn them up a little bit. Probably just about there is fairly good. How do the switches sound? Are they audible? Yeah, yeah, it was. That was a good time. It reminded me of how much I enjoy lunar entry profile. I Entry is like one of the greatest feelings of accomplishment here in this game, and it's definitely got a significant you know satisfying thing going on here. I'm waiting on verb 83 here to adjust our ordeal. It's not listed in the flight plan, but I just don't trust the ordeal's measurement here after a 10-hour sleep period, and we could see I was exactly right to do that. We're about 318 degrees. So 16, 17.95. Okay. And let's dial it back a couple pulses. Just get on that 315. So we are standing by now for the T1 time with a small pitch down. So here we're taking LLS3, Lunar Landing Site 3 photography, and of course, during this with our personal camera, zero phase targets of opportunity. Yeah, Firebolt, if you're still on the stream, thank you for the sub. There's the Earth right there, whopping, what was it, 275,000 miles away. Having a good time flying over our lunar targets and take it all in because this is it. You know, and in a couple of moments, we are gonna be out of here. So take it in. Newcomers, uh, sorry you get to, come on at the tail end of this mission, but we've had a whole incredible LEM mission, and I definitely have to say that we have definitely dodged death in this mission. Triumphant rulers over death and chance and thee, O time. We have definitely dodged death more than a couple of times in this mission. We've had a couple of close calls here. But we made it. We made it because we knew what we were doing. We were sufficiently trained to fly this mission. Getting rid of human error is not something that you can do with 100% certainty. So there'll always be a small amount of human error. And even in the historical Apollo missions, there was always a human error present. But when you have your significant systems trainings and you know about the spacecraft that you're flying, when you do encounter a problem, you know how to correct it. Couple of beautiful landmark craters here. Flew over Mount Marilyn earlier, one of the Apollo 8 named features. Astronaut named features. Astronauts are given the rights to name certain unnamed features on the moon. As they are discoverers and the first seers, they have the full right to name anything that has not yet been named on the surface of the moon. So we have officially Mount Marilyn as a real spot on the map on the surface of the moon. Named in Apollo 8, the Christmas lunar voyage, a whopping 10 laps. And there she is. Speak of the devil. And all of these Apollo 10 named features like Boot Hill, Duke Island, Wash Basin, Sidewinder Rill, Diamondback Rill, and one of them somewhere in there, somewhere. Named on the low pass over the lunar surface, done by the Lunar Module and Co. Add a couple of mascons. Let's do some pitch down here. As we fly over, there's intermediate point 130 for Apollo 11. Various landmarks, Lunar Landing Site 2 as a part of Apollo 10. Yeah, just two more P-22s. I don't know if I'll be able to do the landmark P-23s. Remember that I'm still in the old version, and I have the flickering, and even if I was in the new version, apparently the landmark names don't show on the fixed um, split line of sight, and so I can't do them because of epilepsy. Um, there is no epilepsy warning provided on any of my videos because they should not be epilepsy inducing. That does mean that anything that would be epilepsy inducing cannot be shown on these videos. So I will have to be skipping P23. But in the future, we will be doing a massive Horizon P23s here on our next Apollo flights. Jello. I think it's so funny that Renova still has the badge for #1, even though Artemis has made like 5 billion messages. That's super funny to me. Okay. Now, was that pitch down or pitch up? Start 0.5 degrees per second pitch rate. I believe that would have to be pitch up. Oh, it's probably pitch down. Oh, it says just pitch rate. That's terrible. What way do I go? Um, we're gonna say pitch down. Um, yeah, we're gonna do pitch down. It was pitch up. I lied. Okay, in my defense, that is a terribly written procedure. I forgot to be looking out the COAS at the time of acquisition there. Don't mind if I just... Yeah, figures I'd miss it already. Oh well. Their fault for not specifying which direction. $180, let's go 203. Pro and pro. Yeah, it was actually pitch up instead of pitch down, so I wonder, did you also miss LLS3 or did you see it for a brief second and then obviously couldn't keep the acquisition because you're pitching the wrong way? $15, $30, $35, $176. And we'll switch to the wide beam for acquisition. Back to narrow when we've got it. Nah, oh well. Their fault. Okay, acquisition. And in receipt is our TEI 30 abort purpose, as well as our CSM state vectors coming in off the uplink line now through the S-band, as well as a verb 66 copying CSM state vector to lem state vector slot. Uplink complete. And we will now stand by for that landmark tracking pad. Only 2 targets this time. Landmark B1 and landmark 150. One a crater and one a potential landing site. Rev 3 map update, loss of signal, 150-degree mark, and acquisition of signal. These are going to be some of our last two-dimensional P-52s. And sports fans, we've had perfect star sighting. IMU realign complete. Let's check out how that GDC is doing. Gyro display coupler over here, just a couple of degrees off. Yeah, that's better. Go ahead and pitch up here to 315. Pitch 315. And begin zero phase photos of opportunity. Yeah, Folger's talking about stripping at 2D optics sooner than we think. Yeah, why not? 3D optics works pretty great. There's a couple of things to work out, like the vibrating panels when you're doing attitude maneuvers in the 3D optics, but aside from that, it's very good. I've been enjoying it. Just standing by here for some sunrise. Oh yeah, Apollo 9. You know, Apollo 9 has been a cursed mission on this channel after what was it? 3 launch failures in a row. And all of those videos are still up. I have sort of evaded Apollo 9 for the past 2 to 3 years. And I've done it personally several times. It's just whenever I stream that mission, there's always been some kind of launch failure on the S4B. Um, so that mission has been really cursed. But with all these improvements here, I have no doubt that we will be able to perform Apollo 9. And that's gonna be good fun. Damn Mascons. I'm very excited to to show off Apollo 9 and perform the hardest mission in all of NASP and show off what we can do. And just seeing the Earth out those LEM windows is going to be worth it again. That's going to be really worth it. There we go. Revolution 30 has officially started, and we are on the after side of the moon here. Control point 1 for Apollo 10. These beautiful craters down here. Wish I could land at some of these places if they weren't so far on the moon. I could land just after the Terminator, but we would have to, you know, do all manual uplinks and everything and make sure that our CSM is in the right phase for when we need to do those updates to pass along voice through VHF relay as the CSM acting as a sort of communications satellite. Gorgeous mountain right there, with a crater in it. We'll be making 31.5 orbits of the moon. Or no, 31 orbits of the moon. We'll be starting our 31st revolution and doing TEI. So we'll have orbited the moon 31 times, yeah. All right. Roll right to 000 and null rates. Our last two P-22s. Who's excited? These last two P-22s are gonna be the best P-22s. They're gonna be fun because they're not all in a row, not like 50 of them in a row like the previous flight day. Good God. Passing through 330. And to be distinctive, we do not call it a rocket motor here in the Apollo program because there are several micro components called motors, such as SPS gimbal motor. So we call it an engine. Okay, now pitching up to pitch 338 and beginning orbit rate. Yep, so we're firing of the service propulsion system engine on the service module, which will increase our inertial velocity to lunar escape velocity. And then we will be ascending from the 60 nautical mile point at the lunar surface. And then as soon as we cross the sphere of influence of the moon, we will then be falling towards Earth. So right up until that sphere of influence, we're rising. We'll be losing velocity right at engine cutoff. And it won't be until about a day and a half later that we'll be crossing the sphere of influence again. And instead, we will be falling towards Earth and will be naturally gaining inertial velocity as we descend towards Earth's surface. There is that beautiful Earthrise. I believe for the final time. And we'll go ahead and switch over to Omni Charlie for acquisition purposes and begin of the tracking of landmark Bravo 1. That'll be optic speed medium. Program 22. Max MGA will pro to accept. We'll change the landmark designation. This will be a known landmark. Designate as known landmark. And the coordinates for the landmark are plus 02,522 degrees latitude, plus 17,518 degrees half longitude. That's very important. It's half longitude. And an altitude of minus 0.001 decimal 54 nautical miles. We'll use COAS for keeping orbit rate until we are able to see the landmark. Unfortunately, ignoring the beautiful Earth up there. You seen one Earth, you seen them all. We're here to look at the moon. Landmark Alpha 1. .420. 421. 422. 423. There's Mount Marilyn, and here comes Bravo 1. There it is right down there. Bravo 1. So we're standing by for pitch rate at 1426. $14.26. Pitch down. And proceed with marks. Marks complete. Pitch up back to 338. I like that noun 49. Let's go ahead and accept. And what does she give us? Two, 5, 7, 4, 1, 7, 5, 2, 2, and okay, that's pretty good. Verb 32, and let's do it on that last landmark. Designation is known landmark plus 00283 minus 00714 minus 00105 She'll be coming up on the horizon any second now. And there she is. P2 time is 26:17. "26 minutes, we'll go ahead and row. Pitch rate. And tracking. Mark 1 at 25 seconds. Mark 2 at 50 seconds. Mark 3 at 15 seconds past the minute. With 15 plus 25 gives us 40 seconds past the minute. And the final mark being 5 seconds past the minute. Having to delay that last mark to spin optics around, and there she goes. Tracking complete. And we'll switch back over to inertial reference. And that was it. Those were our last landmarks to track for this whole mission. That was it. Okay, verb 34, enter. And 00, enter. We'll get the maneuver to 180-237-000. Switching to CMC. Proceed. We'll go ahead and reacquire here on the high gain. That's minus 68, minus 171. Maneuver complete. Acquisition complete. All right, now stand by for our preliminary DEI return home. Maneuver pad. The last bucket item here is just a strip photography. We're going to photograph Highlands at the 85-degree east mark. And that's it. TEI and adios. We're ready to accept that state vector update. We'll go poo and accept. Poo and accept. Stop, fellas. Kick back, relax, grab yourself a nice slice of New York style pizza with that pepperoni on top. Get yourself a nice glass of water. and be ready to come home. I gotta say, this mission has been a fairly long one for me, and I'm excited to plow through here on TEI. The final pad. Of lunar orbit. All right. We got our strip photography pad. Switching S-band Omni Charlie. Going stabilization control system. Rolling right to 000. Switching reference to orb rate. I always wanted a subwoofer for this game. Something that when you light that engine underneath the Saturn V rocket, it's just big bass, just boom, and it makes your hair move. That's what you need. Well, you could always turn your gaming laptop into a gaming desktop with a couple of monitors. Okay, pitching down to Ordeal 258. Okay, a monitor and a sound bar is not going to cost you $2,000, okay? A desktop's going to be more expensive. Keyboard and mouse, obviously, you'll need. That's it. Like, I was rocking laptop as a desktop for years. That's how every company does it right now, too. Oh, yeah, the subwoofer thing. It'd be totally worth it, though. Also, damn, this New York pizza is really good. All right. Standing by for C1 photographing of the Highland site. Okay, yawing left to 340. Milk jug caps works for now. Hey, yeah, we all gotta do what we all gotta do. Yeah, 340. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I totally was not paying attention. Well, give me a damn second. I thought it was suspiciously dark out. It is because we accidentally were not paying attention and we did that all an hour early. That's good practice. Too focused on the chat. It's not that they tend to suck ass. They're actually mostly fine. It's just that people tend to not clean them properly and then do things like put them on their beds, right? So they suck up all the lint in the air intakes, and also they can't even get air intake because it's on a soft surface that conforms to the surface of the object. So if you put your laptop, say, just on a desk, you have your desk cleaned and you clean the air intake and you clean the exhaust, you shouldn't need to have an actual cooling pad until your laptop reaches a pretty decent age. A cooling pad does help, but honestly it helps if you're the person that doesn't clean their technology. We've had engineers on laptops without cooling pads that, the standard operating temperature is you can cook an egg on the keyboard. Um, and it's been perfectly fine. Yeah. You get the cooling pad if you're gonna be having it in your lap, right? Because despite the fact that it's called a goddamn laptop, it's not supposed to go in your lap. As a matter of fact, the warning label on the laptop tells you not to put it in your lap. So that's what the cooling pads are mostly for. And then if you want to put it on like a soft material like your bed or something, you want to watch some Netflix, put your laptop next to you on your bed, then you'll need a cooling pad for that, but that's about it. Yeah, HP's engineering laptops tend to run a little hot, but they're pretty good. I like them more than Lenovo. Used to like Lenovo more. I remember back when like ThinkPads and Think Machines were like the top of the top in terms of enterprise hardware. Um, and now it's just the build quality is not great, genuinely. And having a laptop in your lap will actually do damage to your quads over time. You're slowly cooking your muscles and frying the swimmers. The only thing I like about Lenovo is they still have the mouse physical clicking things on their laptops, and they were smart enough to make those buttons flat. Unlike HP, where a while back when they had the G6, G7, G8, G9, G10, they had those clicking things, but they were rounded. So when you shut the laptop screen, you were scratching the screen against those freaking buttons. Like, what a dumbass design. Who at HP thought of that shit? Okay? That and the Bang& Olufsen cases were a really nice quality metal, but holy shit. You could cook goddamn spaghetti on that thing. They were horrible for cooling. So having those little clicky things that are flat is the about the only thing that Lenovo has done right in as of recent. They've really had a fall. ThinkPads used to be all the rage. You probably have a mildly newer one, but if you get a G7 Power or a G7 Fury, they're gonna have the curved buttons that scratch the screen. Photography of the Highlands. Yeah, they're high. That's great. They're definitely high because they're Highlands. All right. Let's accept this uplink. Copy our TEI 31 pad. Uplink complete. TEI 32 emergency TEI 31 ignition failure pad. Standing by for TEI map update. TEI map update. And ignition is 137.33.50.06. Proceed. 36246. plus 7 minus 29.7. Proceed. Proceed. Program 30 routine complete. Okay. And that's it. Standing by for Terminator. And we are at Terminator. Okay. Discontinuing orbit rate and going inertial. T minus 60. Verb 49. Enter. Verb 24. Enter. Roll will be 0. Pitch will be 052. minus 63 plus 353. Auto maneuver complete. Alright, and we're just standing by for TV attitude update. And there we go. There's our TV attitude. The last lunar orbit P52. Here we go. T-minus 54 minutes and counting to the burn. Let's get a good look at Earth here in the sextant before we go home. Let's get a good look. There she is. She is just a little too big to fit, but that's the Earth from lunar altitude. Okay. That's our final look at the Earth here from lunar altitude. And we got work to do now. I like the GDC. We're going to go and stick with that. We're going to switch both balls to inertial. And we're going to stand by for the T-minus 40-minute mark. I'm going to go refill my glass of water real quick. And I think you guys should do the same. All right, taking us down to 40 minutes. We'll be reloading program 30 with the new information. All right, time of ignition here. 137.3350.06. Proceed. And we are going to reload delta V because of the rotations. Plus 3624.6. Plus 0007.0. And minus 0029.7. Okay, height at apogee, obviously not applicable. Height at perigee, and the total delta V required, I concur. Proceed. Dang it. I just keep missing it a little bit. There we go. Proceed. 00, enter. Okay, we're going to terminate battery charge in preparation for their use on the gimbal motors. So battery charger off. Circuit breaker, battery relay, bat bus B close. DC indicator select main A. And no reason to vent the battery manifold at this time. Test caution warning lamps. We've 14 lights on left plus master alarm. Good. And we've 20 lights on right plus master alarm. Good. Master alarm, all lights and tone. Plus CMRCS warning lights. Good. Warning lights out. Okay. Caution warning system is good. Engine is 50 degrees ish. We're gonna give it just a little bit of preheating actually. Because we're on the dark side, I don't want it to cool down below 45. We're not gonna give it the full length of preheating, just a couple of moments here. And while that's happening, let's go ahead and get our EMS delta V test going. So, just a quick 10-second null bias check. Okay, I like it. Delta V set. 1586.8. Ooh, right on the money. I love when that happens. Delta V test. Okay, and good cutoff logic. The compensated delta V here, cutoff will be 3604.5. Three six oh four decimal five. Right on the money again. Man, it is just a good day today. 3604.5, 3604.5. EMS function delta V. Let's get non-essentials to main bus B. Non-essentials on main bus B. Plugs which are correct. Delta V, center of gravity, CSM, CMC mode free. Auto RCS will need all 16 jets per translation policy for ullage. And verb 48, enter. You got here, we're going to select 2 jets, BD, ullage, verb 24, enter. That's 10102, enter. And let's take a look. Quads, B and... Oh, actually... Well, A is still the lowest. Let's go quads, Bravo, Delta for roll. And that's 01111. Proceed. Command module weight is 37,751 pounds. And the trim for center of gravity on SPS is minus 00067 and plus 000.34. Proceed. We are going to reset our little trim system ahead of time. And we will write those changes with the verb 46. Verb 37, enter, 00, enter. And CMC auto. Display mode 2, verb 49. And attitude for the burn is 180,053,001. 180,053,001. Auto maneuver. And that should be good on the old engine preheat. Let's go ahead and take that off the line now. And line heater is off the line. Auto maneuver complete. S-band Omni Delta. Program 40, SPS thrusting. Proceed. It likes the attitude. Okay, so do I. Close our SPS circuit breakers. And all left-hand circuit breakers are good. Limit cycle on. Roll, pitch, and yaw are rate command. BMAGs rate 2. Direct off. SCS TVC rate command. TVC gimbal drivers auto. And the T-minus 20 minute mark will be SPS line heaters off. We have already got them off. T-minus 15 minute mark to the burn. We'll perform our sextant star check. And welcome back. Don't forget our chair for the burn. Oh, wait, we still have to do optic stuff. We'll leave that up for the time being. Time skipping carefully down to the T-minus 15 minute mark. Minus 15 minutes. Enter. Gimbal test option. Verb 41. Noun 91. Enter. And that will be a shaft of 295.5. Or excuse me, decimal 9. And 25.6 for the trunnion. We should be looking at star 13. Confirm star 13 is in view. And will bring us down carefully to the T-minus 6 minute mark. And we are about to complete our 32nd orbit, or 31st orbit of the moon. And that's 31st orbit complete. We are officially starting Rev 32. We'll be 8 minutes into Rev 32 before we begin our ignition going home. Bringing us carefully down to T-minus 6 minutes, so we'll activate the batteries, put them on the bus, and prepare for SPS activation. T-minus 6 minutes. Let's get our seats folded down. Let's get the batteries on the bus. Batteries on the bus. You know, instead of bad boys on the bus, we're going to be singing batteries on the bus. Thrust vector control servos, cross-tie AC1 main A and 2 cross-tie AC2 main B. THC power on. And rotational control, AC only. Standing by for the T-minus 5 minute mark. Indicators verified, gimbal position indication. T-minus 5 minutes. Alright, gimbal motors. Pitch 1, start. Yaw 1, start. Manual control engaged. Verify no manual thrust vector control. No manual thrust vector control. Group 2, pitch 2, start. Yaw 2, start. Trim check. -1, +1, 0, -1, +1, 0. Trim check is complete. Trim set for burn, minus 0.67, plus 0.34. Trim set. Let's do the test. Pitch up, center, pitch down, center, yaw left, center, yaw right, center. And if you'd like to see that test performed outside, I can actually show you. We got some light. Beautiful. Good drive. Manual control disengaged. AC/DC on the old RCS. At 1, rate 2. Enter. Oh, hey, you know what? It said enter. We were not actually supposed to hit enter on that. That is a checklist error. We will go ahead and recycle program 40. Bypass attitude. Pro on the gimbal check. And there she goes. Direct, main A, main B. Limit cycle off. Rate 50-15. T minus 2 minutes. T minus 2 minutes. SPS bank A armed. Guard on bank B open. Bringing us carefully down. T minus 40 seconds here. T minus 35 seconds. Disky blank. Average G mode is on. EMS normal.
Translation.
T minus 25 seconds. T minus 20. 19. 18. 17. 16. 15. Olages go. 13. 12. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, verb 99, proceed, 2, 1, ignition, 1, 2, bank B on. Okay, I'm liking this burn so far. Delta V to go, 2,606. T minus 1 minute, 50 seconds to cut off. Very balanced quad situation over here with an exception to quad A. Delta V to go, 1,700. T minus 1 minute, 10 seconds to cutoff. Total velocity now 2007.8 feet per second. Velocity now 29,280 feet per second. Delta V left of the burn, 600, 550.1 feet per second. And coming rapidly towards shutoff. 12 seconds to shutdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, shutdown. Shutdown on time. Delta T 0, Delta T C 0, and a burn of 1.6 left on the x-axis. Final velocity at cutoff 36,269 feet per second. SPS engine bank A and bank B disarmed and guarded. Gimbal motors pitch 1, yaw 1, pitch 2, yaw 2. Thrust vector control servos off. Main bus ties off. Proceed. Trim X down to 0.2. X is trimmed. Standby off. Bmags rate 2. Attitude deadband max. Let's turn trans control power off. And take our SPS circuit breakers off. Proceed. Verb 82. 55.7. I like that parasynthian here. 00. Enter. DET stop reset. Good day, railroads northeast. Verb 66, enter. And let's get over to TV attitude. Beautiful shot for the moon to fall away. We are in the command and service module on Apollo 10. And beginning TV transmission. Well, I don't know if YouTube will allow it, but I allow mild swearing, so just as long as it's not obscene. Here, we try and be smart, but also recognize that these people were astronauts and that they're going to be swearing profusely, so. Standing by for PTC Roughs Mat. And look at that beauty. We are flying the real computer program here that flew us on Apollo 10. Very good times. The date is currently May 24th, 10:45 Greenwich Mean Time, 1969. So if you could believe it, just 2 months later, we'll be landing on the moon. Look at that. It feels good to have completed a lunar mission after a while. Yep, yep. I mean, these people were from the military, so what do you expect? Especially Apollo 12, the commander of Apollo 12. Oh God, who was it? Names. Um, it was Alan Bean. It was the lunar module pilot, and then it was. Oh God, the commander of Apollo 12 had a way with words. Let's just say that. We're gonna go ahead and prepare for. Oop, little audio glitch there for a second. Prepare for PTC uplink. How long have I been at this mission for? This mission has been going on in game time for so far 138 hours and 10 minutes coming up. But I have streamed everything from start to finish. So for as long as the playlist is for where this video will be in after the stream is done, that is how long that I've been doing this mission for. The total right now, I think, is a bit, excuse me, a bit large. We're looking at 2 hours plus an hour 45, an hour 27, hour 24, plus 3 hours 30 minutes, plus 2 hours 40 minutes, plus 2 hours and 50 minutes, plus 2 hours 32 minutes, plus 3 hours 35 minutes, plus 2 hours 21 minutes, and now here. So a very long time. That's how long we've been at this mission for. Verb. See, 37, enter, 00, enter. My mouse is misbehaving again. Go ahead and disable primary glycol evaporator. H2O flow off. And steam pressure pegged. Manual increase for 1 minute. Yeah, we are not going to be able to keep this attitude for very long, unfortunately. Okay, P52 IMU realign. This is going to be, if I recall correctly, a pulse torque, no star check. Okay. Preferred. And that's 91.9. Yep, 91.9. That's 1.48. We'll round it up to 1.5. And a yaw of 325.4. GDC align. And let's get on SCS here. Enter. And pulse torque is initialized. You can watch that moon fall away while that IMU is aligning itself, and this is going to take a very, very, very long time. The alignment here is almost complete. Our time saved, aided by a little bit of time skipping, as you can see, much faster. Alignment complete. Go ahead and trim up our GDC line. Beautiful. All right. Take your last good looks at the moon and let me know when you're ready, because we're going to be maneuvering to PTC attitude here now, passive thermal controls, so this will be pretty much the last time we'll see the moon. All right. See you around, and you know what? When we run Apollo 9, you gotta be there, because you're gonna see some really, really cool shit. This stuff's gonna blow your mind. See you around. Ah, dang. There's sad. Just get that one last good look. All right, let's go ahead and start PTC. We will remain on BD roll. And that will be 1, 1, 1, 0, 2. Pro. Okay, lowest fuel adjacent quads. A and D. There is no argument about that there. A and D. Start the clock. Oh, 20 minutes on the clock. no matter where you're going. It's always nice to come back home. That's it. Time to start PTC. Now, we're drifting a little bit, but I don't think it warrants enough reinitializing the PTC, so I think we're good to establish deadband here. H2 purge line heater on. 30, 40. Fuel cell, O2 purge, and H2 purge are complete. What do we got now? Line heater off. Go ahead and get all that off. High gain antenna, we are currently roll right. So that is 40 to 70. And that makes sense. Okay. Last thing left to do here is ECS component check, little update, and a rest period. And then it's falling home. Day 8 is really busy. Holy smokes. Day 8 is busy with them P23s. Okay, we're done on component check. Only 2 Horizon ones. Yeah, I'm not going to be doing any of those. I'm not going to be doing any P23s until we update again. Ah, shit. Oh, this is why I should never clear the disky. That's okay, I needed to reestablish PTC anyways. I'm just not gonna clear the disk key. That's what what it is. I'm just gonna leave the disk key up because every time I forget. Is this muscle memory after flying so many Earth missions? You're never in PTC, so it's just muscle memory to go poo on on those uplinks. Just when the crew thought it was gonna get some sleep early. How much time are we at? Anyways, we're at. Holy smokes! Okay, yeah, it's a long one. That's better. All right. Nah, this has been a very, very, very long stream so far. The question is, are we going to do day 7 or no? Who votes day 7 and who does not? I, for one, am tired. Uh, so I don't care either way. Yeah. Yeah, we'll do day 7 and day 8 later, and then entry will be... Yeah. Alright, well, I'll just time skip through the rest of this sleep period, and then we'll close it off. Yeah, grab yourself a slice of New York pizza. That's what I had earlier. It's pretty good. Alright. Sleep period coming up towards an end. I think I'll give it till 1:45, and then that gives us just an extra minute at the start of time skipping that we're able to do, just to show that we're in PTC the start of the next stream. And it's gonna do it. We're falling back down towards the ground. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Happy to see y'all here. And as always, have a good day.